right. Oh, QP is very yellow. Welcome to the Delta RS Open Development Meeting. QP, I'm really not sure why you're yellow. Oh, now you're not yellow for me anymore. I don't believe Florian will be joining us, so we unfortunately won't have the use case that he was going to share last time that we didn't have time for. So I wanted to discuss the Data and AI Summit coming up and what we might be able to do from the Delta RS perspective, or talk about the Delta, like Python binding or what have you. But Denny, could you maybe give us a high level, like, here's the gist of what's happening with this event?
Yeah. So in terms, I wanted to actually work with you guys to figure out how we want to do any particular press releases or any launches or anything of that nature. The current plan basically is to announce Delta Lake 1.0 prior to Summit, so that way we can get the press releases out. We want to definitely have multiple press releases. I'm just trying to figure out how to work with Linux Foundation on it. They have a particular set of template and rules that they would like us to follow, and so they're actually looking for what the rules are right now. So as soon as the LF tells me what we're allowed doing, then we'll go ahead. And then usually how it works, at least in the past, is that will be our respective companies that will basically craft the messaging and all that stuff. Like basically, well, us and our respective like companies basically will do that. But then we go work with the Linux Foundation to push it out. And so that's the idea, at least. And so we're trying to figure out what the timing. We did plan on calling out the Delta RS project, by the way, during one of the keynotes. So I wanted to call that out.
Woo!
Yes. So yes.
When you say Delta Lake 1.0,
Yes.
we're of course talking about the reference implementation there. Does that mean like, is Delta Lake going to adopt semantic versioning around the protocol from then moving forward?
I don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
That part. Yeah, I think we're still trying to figure that one out. And so I think if you can give me, I literally just returned OOF from yesterday, so I'm still catching up. I freely admit this. So the fact that I can give you even this, and even remembered that there was this meeting, honestly, it's sort of a pro at this point, honestly.
It looks to me like the current protocol version is tied to the Java, the Scala implementation version. So that seems to be the case right now.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
QP, what I don't follow the development of the reference implementation enough to know if there is an intent to actually follow semantic versioning there. That's more the question to me.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, even mentioning that, I remember seeing on a PR from Florian some disagreement between the protocol version and the current state of the reference implementation. I can look that up, but
oh no, I can share that with Denny. I know exactly which pull request you're talking about.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so definitely share the PR with me so I can go ahead and start those discussions. More like start, more like continue them, because I did start them actually already based on some previous conversations we had.
So we're doing press releases in some form around the Delta project for Data and AI Summit. Is there any other? I know I should say some of you know this, but maybe not all of you knows. I submitted a talk and it got accepted to give an overview of Delta RS and the Python bindings and what we've been doing here. I kind of still have to create some slides there. So we'll have that, and then we'll have the press releases. Denny, was there anything else in mind that you had for the Delta project in general?
I mean, honestly, Keith, was basically promoting all those sessions, right? So basically, I figured whatever press releases we did, and then whatever social we did, we want to be able to promote it. And I did want to call out, since we're voting for committers, by the way, that I did want to actually call that out as well. Whether that goes in, I'm not sure it's supposed to. I still need to, again, follow what LF is asking us to do, but we definitely, in our blogs, we always go ahead and call out who are all the new committers. So we wanted to make sure that that's done, but I'm checking if LF is going to allow us to do it also in the press releases. Again, It's honestly it's more semantics than anything else, but still I got to verify. So
Okay.
Yeah.
It's too bad this isn't going to be a physical event. You could have QP like be up on stage as Mr. Delta RS.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure you want that.
It's okay. We're almost done. By the time it's Europe, we might actually be okay to do physical events,
Yeah.
assuming things don't go weird.
So you're inviting
But-
QP to come keynote in Europe. That's what I'm hearing.
Hell yeah!
You're gonna regret saying that.
So some of the reason I wanted to discuss this is I was brainstorming some ideas with Denny a couple of weeks ago around this, and the Python and Rust's clients seem to be far enough along to where I was kind of hoping that Florian would be able to join us today. But I'm curious, QP, from your perspective, is there a milestone that we can announce or plant a flag and say, we did it, in time for Data in AI Summit?
Yeah, I think the Python binding right now, at least for read, it's feature complete. So I've been following on a lot of discussions around reading Delta table from using Pandas UDF. Sorry, not UDF, just Pandas Python package.
Mhm.
And I've been commenting in all those threads with Delta RS right now, and it looks like Delta RS fits all of the use cases. So there are a lot of
Cool.
people asking, like, how can I read Delta Lake from using Pandas? And I've been answering all those questions online, and also have added a link to the official Pandas documentation that links to Delta RS as the recommended way to read Delta Lake using Pandas. And
Cool.
Florian's also published a official Python documentation, user doc and API doc for Delta RS Python binding. So I like from a read perspective, I think we're pretty feature complete at this point.
I was looking at those docs yesterday, actually, because I was pointing them out to somebody. We don't actually mention anything around pandas in our own docs, should we?
We are not. There's a example code block that uses Panda to demonstrate the feature, but we don't. That's correct.
Okay. Maybe I'll file a ticket about that. One of the things when I went in at the person I was showing this to, I was like, yeah, you can totally use Python to easily query and, outside of Spark, easily query Delta Lake. And then I pulled up the docs and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, there's
How would
only
you do
a
something?
block. There's an example block that uses
Yeah, I know.
Panda.
I see what you're talking about when I'm looking at this now.
Yep.
It's just the .2 pandas call, which is helpful. But so there's full reader support. You say I get the impression that Florian's use case doesn't require writing to Delta Lake. Is there a ticket to like pull that writer support up into the Python bindings, or is it there and just not used?
It's not there. We haven't implemented that yet.
Gotcha.
It's not exposed. Yeah. So there is another ask from another community member about exposing the metadata API. And
I saw that.
only talk about that one.
I saw that one. Okay, so we can announce full writer compatibility there. Denny, did we lose Denny?
Yeah, we lost Denny.
Oh no.
All
right, he's coming back.
Tell you what, on that Python binding support and the Pandas use cases, I feel like once we get PD from Delta, oh my god, that's great.
PD from Delta? What do you mean?
PD is like
Pandas.
a common alias for Pandas.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's like 5 letters. Why do you need to abbreviate?
it's just what everybody does.
Dude, come on.
Import
we do that all
Pandas
the
as
time.
PD. Yeah.
Come on, NumPy as NP. Right.
TensorFlow
Right.
STL.
Right. Like, come on, we do it. We're that lazy.
We're so
Come on,
lazy.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
It's like the military. Like, let's not use words. Let's instead talk in acronyms.
Hey, I'm up for it. I'm pretty sure we can figure out how to do an entire conversation this way.
So, Denny, I'm glad you returned. For for the verbal shit posting, but also once upon a while, I had asked you about how we as like the Delta RS committers and contributors would be able to create blog content for Delta.io.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we go through the trouble of writing documentation for, or like writing a tutorial, like here's an easy problem that you can use pandas to read and deal with Delta Lake. That's something that I would love to put up on the Delta.io blog, but I'm not sure if we would like the way that I'm thinking about this is in the lead up to Data in AI Summit, which is at the end of May for the rest of you who don't just have this in your head already. Would be to have at least 1 or 2 blog posts go up somewhere. Like they could be on personal blogs. I know QP's personal blog is a little bit underappreciated, but every post there goes straight to number 1 on Hacker News apparently. But like we can write some stuff that doesn't necessarily fit in a press release, but would be a good intro to here's the thing. Here's how you do the thing with the stuff.
Okay, so quick call outs. Right now, the Delta.io site has posts, which basically shows up on the right side. And so like if you look at the main page of Delta.io.
Here, I'm going to share the screen.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Application window.
Boom. Okay. So these are the latest news, like so here on the right side here, like so those are basically posts, but they're not very long lived. You can see them, but they're not very well done. You can also click on resources. Oh yeah, there you go, blogs. Yeah, that's fine too.
Blogs.
2 ways to, and then this gives you the blogs, which I need to go update.
Wait, this is a different list of things.
Yes, because that references external blogs as opposed to the posts. Yeah. So now we are planning to update Delta.io site to actually have its own blogs as well. Okay. Technically, under latest news, when you click on it, just like click on the Salesforce. There you go. Right. So you can scroll all the way down, and you can get the listing of all of them. Then, actually, it's a scroll down. I'm sorry. No, it's not. Actually, sorry. Click on resources news. I'm sorry. There you go.
This looks like it, yeah.
So we can definitely put it here. I'm not sure why the images aren't working anymore. They were working fine before, but I'll go back and figure out what's going on that one. But
like, talk to your webmaster.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing we're gonna do. So, long story short, the dang thing, which is beyond irritating, and so yes, I'm saying this publicly, is an Oxygen template on top of WordPress. Like, oh dear God, yeah. So that is going to be changed, obviously. So it's one of the things post summit I'll be able to focus on that, getting that up and running. Now, part of the reason why is because we're actually hiring some additional people so they can take it from me. So, yeah. So the idea is, and so what I'd like to do is actually put the website on a GitHub page, so we can actually basically all make the submissions. We can approve it, and then we basically have a process to push. Take the markdown from GitHub and basically push it directly up to the site. So that way that we don't need you. Basically, right now
I follow you.
Almost administrator access in order to be able to do this. It's really stupid. So
I follow you. I just tried to think of like what does this mean we can do as Delta RS peeps ahead of Data in AI Summit.
So we can create either external blogs, and then I'll link it to the blog for, and I will also create a news post, and that'll point to both sets of blogs as well. So prior to Summit, that's what I would do, and then post Summit, when I can finally get a actual GitHub page, then basically it won't just be me; it'll be multiple people that'll have basic committers will have rights to push to the site. I haven't had a chance to get it up and running.
Okay, so we can, I guess we had discussed like what type of content we might want to create. It sounds like I'll ask Florian if, I think Backchannel is his company, if they would like to do a blog, or if they have a blog, where they would like to talk about the Python stuff, and maybe we can help with that. And then I think QP and Christian and Misha, from the Scrib side, we can just use the Scrib tech blog for at least some of the Delta RS and Kafka Delta ingest stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot of things we can write about.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we'll do some blogging. Be super hip. We'll do some blogging, and then we can talk about reader support for the Rust binding QP or Christian. Is there anything big and notable that you'd want to promote at the end of May for the Rust binding?
Potentially the multi-writer support if it gets there. Since we have distributed locking now, but we have more stuff to work through to kind of surface that better. But other than that, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, it's sort of similar to Python, where the read support, it's complete, and you can use data fusion to do any kind of queries like you would do with Pandas. And write, I think by that point, we'll probably only still have append only write.
Yeah, I feel like we'll be append only for a good long while.
It also
since that's our primary use case.
It also doesn't support choke pointing, so I need to work on that too.
But I guess the Kafka Delta ingest demo will be a good thing to print up. That uses the right functionality.
Yep, sure. Like a specific use case for the append only. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, we should definitely call that out. And then if you're especially for stuff like this, if you're up for it, I would still definitely blog it with you guys first. But then I can potentially work on also cross-posting it at a later time on the Databricks blog as well, specifically, obviously, on open source community stuff. But because we definitely talk about that on the Databricks blog as well, we definitely do that. In addition to Delta, obviously.
Yep, that sounds cool.
Okay. I've got a lot more thoughts than we have time for Data NA Summit. Denny and I have to talk about what our marketing plans are going to be this week, anyways. So I'll let y'all know. I've got some ideas, and I think I'll just write down sort of what I think we can do. Some of this, just for Denny and anybody else that's watching, some of this does come down to a question of time, like just how much time and effort can we put into making a big splash at Data NAI Summit. Any other thoughts from anybody before I change topics to new committers?
Nope, not from me.
+1 Misha.
+1, exactly. +1 Misha.
+1. That was easy.
+1. Yeah, +1 Misha.
Thank you.
All right. Well, with that, I think I didn't even have to ask. So let me go ahead and give GitHub my security key. Misha. Which I can never remember your GitHub username.
Mosup.
Mosup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shorten from my first name, sort of.
All right, let's invite Mosup. Or Mosey P, if you will.
Yeah, my full Ukrainian name is so hard to pronounce for English speakers.
Could you say it with full accent and everything for us?
Okay.
Can I try first?
Yeah, I actually taught Christian yesterday how to pronounce that.
All right, let's do a test.
Come on, Chris. Let's see it.
Yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm gonna try. I think it's Michael. Did I mess it up? Michael.
No.
I messed it up. Damn.
It's close. It's close. It's Mikhailo.
Mikhailo?
Oh yes, Tyler.
Mikhailo. Okay.
Yeah.
Pro.
I feel like learning more languages. because like there's the sound, the first vowel, it's not common for English speaker to use that with M.
Yeah, there's a lot. I'd say the further east you go from Great Britain, there's some mouth sounds that are just very difficult for English speakers to create.
Yeah.
So there's a pending invite. You should have that in your inbox. Welcome
right.
to the Delta RS committer group. Thank you for the contributions that you've created already. The DynamoDB stuff is pretty sweet. And with that, that's actually the last thing I had on my very hastily put together agenda for today. Do y'all have anything else that we need to discuss?
Nah, I think we're good. This is awesome.
Cool. Well, thank you everybody for joining. Welcome aboard, Michaelo. And we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks.
Yep. See you all in
Alright.
2 weeks.